Hey there, it's time for a quick take on technology, in particular the darker aspects of technology and the importance of staying safe online during a time of crisis. While we are reaching the end of a pandemic, what with the successful rollout of several vaccines, and to this date over 200 million Americans vaccinated. Great job everybody, but remain vigilant. Wear your masks. We need to remember that we are still in a pandemic. This means we're going to come across a lot of opportunists. Which brings me to an email I received 2 weeks ago. T. Thanks for your interest in working with us. I was forwarded your application for the social media manager role at... Trust me, I'm more than impressed by your skills and experience. As a result, I'd like to move forward with your application. Shall we? Is it unusual to get such a curt response to a job application? No, not at all. It was that last line that had sort of an odd swashbuckler feel to it. Shall we? What's the screening interview like for these people, I wonder?
A gentleman always removes his coat. Stand away. This pleasure is all mine.
I invited the opportunity to speak to them because I'm in the market. Sure, why not? Last week, I get this. T. There's a technical issue reviewing your resume on Indeed. Do you mind completing the below application? Link to Google Form. Okay, a Google Form application. I can dig that. You're staying up on current technologies. Nice first impression. I appreciate that. And yes, it is not unusual for there to be hiccups between a potential employer and job sites like Indeed, LinkedIn, and so on. So I go into the Google Form. I start answering questions. Name, address, previous employer, how long did I work there, what did I do while I was there, and yes, it is not unusual, sadly, to manually input your resume data after you uploaded or submitted it somewhere. It's redundant, but it is still a thing. Then I get to the third page of this Google form called Identity Verification, and they tell me this. Verify your identity with your A, Social Security number card, and B, state-issued ID. Even though uploading the copies of your IDs is not required at this stage, if we decide to move forward with your application, it's a must to provide us with such documents.
Red alert. All hands stand to battle stations. Lay in and intercept course to the Romulan ship.
Shields up. Load all torpedo bays. Stand by phasers.
Warp factor 8. Engage.
Something you should know about me. My first ever full-time job in social media was with a cybersecurity firm. I came in there with this wide-eyed, optimistic look at sharing life's experiences online, but while I was there, I learned how busy more sinister individuals of the internet tend to be during times of crisis. Yes, the job market is improving, but there are some of us still on the hunt. Opportunity, however, should not come at the cost of your identity. If you're wondering what you can do just with someone else's social security number, you can open financial accounts like bank loans or credit cards, file a tax return, file for benefits like unemployment, Medicare, Medicaid, etc., obtain a passport, obtain a driver's license. And that's just with a social security number. Add to that a birth date, a valid state ID, and hey, remember the earlier pages of that Google form, a home address? And you're allowing someone else to live under your name. Apply for a business loan. Rack up a few vacations on some brand new credit cards. Launch a Ponzi scheme overseas. They can do all that and live a hashtag best life, and it wouldn't cost them a thing.
Pull the car.
It's such a nice car.
And yet,
Do it.
And had this potential employer looked at my resume, they would have seen that I have a background in cybersecurity and identity theft protection. So yeah, that. No matter if a recruiter or potential job opportunity says it is essential for you to provide personally identifiable information or PII before or during an interview, it isn't. PII should be protected at all costs, or it's going to cost you later. The only time you should be providing PII to an employer is during the onboarding process. No exceptions. A few other things to consider in staying safe online. Don't share or swap passwords online. Even Google Forms tells you as much in their UI. Use passphrases in place of passwords, as passphrases like "I am a content creator on YouTube" will be tougher to crack than a password like YouTube. Do not share images of sensitive documents, like, say, your COVID-19 vaccination card. Even that unassuming document could potentially lead to a breach. If you want to share the moment, look for selfie stands or take a picture with your sticker. You might be sitting there thinking, duh, T, this is all common sense. Yeah, you would think I wouldn't have to talk about this in present day. But until people stop using 123456 as their freaking password, and until opportunists stop saying that essential information for a job application includes your social security number and a state-issued ID, then yeah, we're going to talk about it.
I'm glad we had this talk.
And there you go, a quick take on protecting yourself online. If you want to make sure you don't miss any of my other takes, go on ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure your notifications are enabled, and you can catch me next time. Until then,
Let's be careful out there.
and enjoy the ride.